Anybody still home?
Clint, thank goodness you're here. Can we go in the library? I have to talk to you.
What now?
Everybody's fine. At least for now they are, but maybe not for too long. Clint, I really know that Maria is going to do something to hurt Vicky.
Get your hands off of me. And you take these crazy pictures and you get out of here before I do call the police. Why are you looking at me that way?
I'm looking for a sign of my ex-wife. Something gentle there, you know, just a hint of Carol, maybe.
Oh, look, how many times do I have to deny this? I mean, really, do I have to use another language with you? Can't you get this through your head? I am not her.
That's right. You are not. You're not the woman I married. Not the woman I fell in love with. You're certainly not the woman that wanted the family. Children, a nice quiet life, but I'll tell you who you are. You're the woman who lied to me about your past to get my trust. You're the woman who used to disappear in the afternoon, the evenings, and then come home with some phony excuse. Now tell me something, Carol. How stupid do you think I am? Did you think I was so much in love, huh? So damn naive that I wasn't going to check up on some of those phony excuses of yours? Huh?
Out.
The mother of my child. My wife. The mother of the sweetest little girl in the world. Spending afternoons and evenings hanging out at the brothel and drinking. Well, you know, I often wondered about that. I thought perhaps you had to be drunk in order to ask for money in exchange for your body.
You shut up.
I mean, you knew the damn ropes all along, didn't you, woman, huh? Because you were a prostitute before you ever met me. Oh, damn it. My wife, a prostitute, the mother of my child. You couldn't even give up the game for that poor, sweet, darling little baby, could you?
Listen to me. I was not hanging around in that brothel, and I did not turn tricks. I was taking care of Renee. She was sick. And I loved you. And I loved Mary Lynn more than anything else in this world. And even though you were suffocating me, and you practically kept me in bondage, and you called it a marriage, I had no intention and I had no desire of turning a trick.
Well, at last you've admitted who you are. Hello, Carol.
I cannot believe this. You posted bail for me and not for Jeff.
Why should I be responsible for getting him out of this mess? I'm sure he was behind it in the first place.
I suppose you think it was his idea. Well, it wasn't. The sit-in was my idea.
I wish that I could take credit for it, but it's Judith's idea.
Oh, well, excuse me for underestimating your creativity, dear.
Just hold it. Your tone is very patronizing, and we are not unruly children.
Well, you're acting like unruly children. No future in
It's been a late night because of that demonstration. I'd like to get home to my wife and daughter.
I think you should do that. At least your home isn't in danger of being torn down by an overpriced Sanders condo.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I just hear my name used in vain here?
Oh.
Speak of the villain, and he arrived. Well, I came down as soon as I heard. I was hoping to post bail for you. Might be a little difficult. It's a little bit late at night. Difficult for a man who can buy off a commissioner. You know, for an attorney, you make a lot of wild accusations.
Charles, it's all right. I've already taken care of Judith's bail.
What
Thank
makes
you,
you think I would have even let you pay for my bail? And how dare you send a demolition crew to Wanda's in the middle of the night?
Wait a minute. Wanda received an eviction notice yesterday afternoon. And I must say that I'm very sorry that she was ill-advised by the two of you not to act upon that, and I had no idea that she had not vacated. And you expect us to believe that? I don't really care if you believe it. Now, Wanda is a friend of the family, so I'm going to call her this evening, offer to lease her space in one of my new buildings as soon as it's finished at a very low rate.
That's more than fair.
Oh, come on. That building won't be ready for a couple of years.
And what is she supposed to do in the meantime? That is no good, Charles.
That's right. You may have destroyed Wanda's diner, but there are other homes and other businesses involved here. We intend to fight you, and we intend to win. You are both being very foolish and very stubborn. I came down here prepared to compromise.
Oh, to do what? Move your whole development someplace else? Because that is the only conciliatory gesture you could possibly make.
All right, then, that's it. I'm out of here. Please remember your daughter is getting married in 2 more days. Try to stay out of jail till then.
Oh,
Judith, we can leave now, too. All right?
Great. I'll escort the prisoner to the lockup.
wait a minute. Herb, do something.
Judith, it's perfectly all right. I want to stay. As a lawyer, I feel this will be quite an interesting experience, one of which I'll gain quite a bit of knowledge.
You know, I know you so well, I think you're probably telling the truth. Okay, fine. I will pick you up at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Great. Don't be late. We've got a lot of work to do.
Come on.
Let's go home.
No, it's all right. I'll take a cab.
What? Because I wouldn't post bail for the kid?
That and your attitude.
Judith. Judith.
Must be very difficult for you to face me, isn't it, Carol?
You stop calling me Carol. All right, Tom. You found me. And let me tell you something. I am not Carol. And Lee is not a new name for a new face. It represents a fulfilling life. A life of goals, many of which have been attained, and a sense of freedom. A new sense of breathing air. And my existence no longer depends on the ideas of a man who has certain ideas of how a woman should behave.
You're referring to me, I suppose.
Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, please, don't tell me you still can't look back on the past, huh? I am really surprised you didn't destroy Mary Lynn. I mean, thank God she had the courage to stand up to you. And it only took a little encouragement from me.
Yeah. Encouragement. Thanks for that encouragement. You encouraged her to turn back on me. You even encouraged her to go to Europe.
Yes, I was just trying to support what she felt for her life, not yours. Because let me tell you something, Tom, all the time it has been your life. Your life. With me. With our daughter.
My daughter. You dropped her and ran like a wildcat.
You pushed me out. You deserted me, and I came home one day and there was no one there.
Ellie, I could not have my daughter raised by a prostitute. And furthermore, I could not live with one.
I was not a prostitute. I gave that up.
You're going to still lie about that, is that?
I am not lying.
Lies are the only thing you deal in, lady. Now, one of these days, Mary Lynn's going to discover that and reject you just the same way I have.
You're wrong.
Am I? What about these past months when you've been so close to Mary Lynn, huh? Months. Months of deception, by the way. Mary Lynn's sense of right and wrong isn't going to go along with that.
Let me tell you something, Tom. Mary Lynn's compassion is much stronger than your sense of right and wrong. And when I tell it what you did to me, what you did to us, how you tore us apart, how you left her motherless, wondering, pretending I was dead.
To me, your word.
Yeah, well, I'm not dead. And I finally can come here, and I can show her that I love her, and if you take her away from me one more time... You're not going to lose this time, Tom. This time I'm going to win.
Really? We'll see about that, won't we? We'll see about that.
Tina, I'm as upset as you are that Maria's running around making threats toward you and Vicky, but I'm sure that's all it is, loud, empty threats.
No, they aren't, Clint. I mean, remember how I told you when I was chloroformed in my car how I smelled perfume?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same perfume that Maria wears. I smelled it on her when she came here to talk to Vicky. And that's not all. It was the same night that somebody tried to run over Vicky when she was at Frankie's, and I know.
What? Wait. What do you mean, somebody tried to run over Vicky?
Oh, no, I wasn't supposed to tell you that. Clint, I'm sorry, but I have to. This is much more important now. It's more important because none of this is an accident. Look, I really think that Maria knocked me out, and she was going to use my car to run Vicky over and make it look like to the police like I did it.
Tina, do you realize the seriousness of what you're saying?
Of course I do. That's why I'm saying it. Clint, when I went up to that nursery and I smelled that perfume, I swear to you, my blood ran cold.
All right, first thing tomorrow morning, I'll have a little talk with Maria, and I'll nip whatever she's got planned right in its sick little bud.
Oh, great. Clint, I really think that if anybody can stop her from this, it's
Tina,
you.
do you realize that folk festival's almost over? Vicky's going to wonder what happened to us.
No, wait, Clint, you go on ahead, okay? I'm too nervous. I won't have a good time. And besides, I want to stay right here and make sure that Maria does not come back.
All right, if she does, you call 911.
I will. Don't worry. Hello?
Clint Buchanan, please.
I'm sorry, he just went out. Can I take a message?
We're yanking the lead story from the front page of the morning edition. We have a hotter item. Tell Clint a lethal poison was stolen from Sanders Chemicals.
From Sanders Chemicals?
Yeah, the lab where Dr. Patrick London works. The name of it is marginal toxicol. It kills on contact, and God knows what maniac's running around with it.
Ray, if it's not too much trouble, I'd like to speak to Mr. McGrath before he leaves. Is that possible?
Yeah, I'll see to it.
Thank
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Okay, Charles, why the gesture?
Because I left here last night infuriated at your extreme behavior.
Me?
And I realized after thinking about it that if we both stay on such extreme courses that we're going to collide, and very bitterly. So I came down here again this morning to try to prove to you once again that I'm willing to compromise when it comes to the waterfront project.
Maybe you just think Jeffrey can be bought off.
Judith, you are treating me as if I'm a stranger instead of someone you've known for 100 years.
Maybe it's because I know you so well, Charles. You lost your ambassadorship and you're still trying to prove you're formidable.
What I'm trying to prove is that this issue does not have to become a war between us.
This issue involves hundreds and hundreds of lives.
Oh, please, spare me the rhetoric and the lecture.
Oh, there we have it. Your ability to stop your emotions when it suits your purpose. Just tell Jeffrey I'll be in my office in an hour, okay?
Hello, this is Maria Roberts. Who's this?
Well, good morning.
Oh, hi. Good morning. Would you mind moving just a little bit? A couple inches?
Tell you what, how about I just sit down and join you?
Oh, yeah, I guess that'd be all right.
Oh, good. What do you keep looking at?
Nothing.
Okay. What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for a friend.
Ah, anybody I know?
No.
Okay. Well, obviously you were a little distracted this morning. But I was going to call you this afternoon and make you an offer. You see, I know that tomorrow is the infamous end of Tina's dream wedding, and I just thought maybe you and I could head up to New York for a day of sightseeing and shopping and your general all-around great time.
You are so wonderful. I mean, here you are trying to cheer me up again and trying to just get rid of all my problems.
Holden man to the rescue.
Yeah. Well, you know what, though? I am going to spend tomorrow as if it were just another day. And I want to spend it with Al. That way I will focus on Al and not Cord.
You know that is not going to happen. Whereas if you were with me and you were outside of Landview, Whole new story.
Yeah, you know, I think I've heard this story before, like before a little trip to Atlantic City, and then somehow I ended up in Buenos Aires with you.
Did I use that one? All right, first, tell you what, this time we will first go to New York and then Paris. Now, I would really love to, but my responsibilities around here won't allow it. You waiting for a guest here?
Actually, there's just someone I don't want to miss their leaving.
I thought it was a friend.
Max, please.
Okay, all right. Look, I have got to get back to business anyway.
Max.
Hmm?
Thanks for the offer.
Anytime.
Dearest Cordero, I feel so much hurt because you won't talk to me or listen to me, and because you refuse to understand the love that has driven me and drives me now. You've always shut me out when I wanted to discuss Tina, but there's something you must know, something I've known for a month but found it very hard to tell you. Once again, Tina has a secret, one I discovered and used to force her to go through with the divorce. Yes, it could be construed as blackmail, but I did it for you, Cordero, so you and Kate could finally marry and be happy. You're not going to want to believe Tina's latest and worst dirty trick. But there is proof of it. Tina's sin this time is...
Who is it?
It's Clint.
Just a minute. Hold on. Bucky, good morning.
Close the door, Maria. Close the door. Atta girl. I don't think you want the whole floor to hear what I have to say to you. Didn't I tell you to stay away from my home and my family? Yes, I did. But did you pay attention? No, you didn't.
What lies is Vicky telling you now?
Vicky doesn't lie, Maria. Unlike you, Vicky doesn't lie. And I've heard plenty from both Vicky and from Tina. Not only are you still going by the house, but you keep threatening people, saying they're going to pay for telling the truth about you.
Oh, Bucky. Tina and Vicky are just overreacting.
Oh, no, I don't think so. In fact, I know better. You've lost it, Maria. You've lost it. You're so bitter and deranged, I don't think you even know what you're saying anymore.
How dare you?
Oh, come on, don't give me indignation. And don't try and act wounded. We've all seen you in action, remember? Playing the concerned friend of the family to our faces while at the same time you're trying to destroy us behind our backs.
When are you going to understand? I did it for us, for the future that we were meant to have.
Us? What future? Maria, you're warped. You are warped. You're illogical. You're irrational. Hell, you're plumb loco.
You don't have to be so cruel.
Well, being nice to you doesn't work. In fact, even being rude to you doesn't work. So let me try something else. Let me try and explain this to you so even you can understand it, Maria. If any harm comes to Vicky or Tina or any member of my family, I'm going to show up at your door. And I'm not going to go through legal channels. I'm coming through the door, and I will do whatever I have to do. Do you savvy? And why don't you just do everybody in town a favor? Huh? Why don't you just leave Landview? Go someplace else and start over. And don't ever show your face around here again.
You'll pay for that, Clint. When Vicky dies.
You're out so late. I want to tell you something that I think will make you very happy.
All right.
right. I'm certainly ready for that. What is it?
After all the arguments and everything, I decided not to go to Austria with Rick.
Oh, really? How come?
Well, for several reasons, but most important, like you said. Why not wait until Rick gets himself settled in, and then if I want to, I can join him. Or maybe he'll come back here. Meanwhile, I'll stay here and make some money for the summer. I'm sure gonna need it, even if it's just to finance a search for my mother. Dad, I know you don't want me to do it, but I have to.
Well, even though I don't like the idea, sweetheart, I do understand.
You know, it hit me that maybe going to Europe was a way to put off the search. Not have to deal with it. Because I'm not sure if my mother, if she really is alive, is
You know, sweetheart, you know what I'd like to do this evening? Set some time aside for just us so we can have a nice, long talk about all this. I'll be home about 6:30. What about you?
Well, I'm starting a new job today,
New
but
job? Oh, here in the hotel?
Yes, it is here in the hotel, but it's not for it. You may not like this, but Lee Halpern offered to train me as her personal assistant. Dad, I can learn so much from her about business.
Sweetheart, I thought you wanted to be a maternity nurse.
Well, I wanted to, but I'm not dedicated to that career
Listen,
at all.
I don't want you working for that woman.
I can't believe this. I came here to tell you that I'm not going to Europe with Rick after all, and you want to argue with me for a job?
I'm sorry, honey. It's not you, it's her. Well, it looks as though this talk isn't going to be able to wait until this evening. A talk that's long overdue, I'm afraid.
Good morning, Maria.
Have you been demoted?
No. My regular bartender had an emergency dentist appointment, so I'm filling in till his replacement gets here. How about some coffee? Maria?
Could I have a cup of coffee, please? It's a little too early for a drink.
Yeah, sure. Bad day already?
I'm afraid so. Oh, no. I had some checks that I wanted to mail, and I left them upstairs.
Well, listen, you just sit tight. I'll get the bellhop to go up and get them for you.
No. I'll get them myself. You know, I've been so busy and so distracted lately. I'll be back.
Where would you hide a bottle of poison?
I think an apology is in order, don't you?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
You mean you think that All right. I'm sorry I got caught up in the emotions of the moment last night. I hope you feel like apologizing for the same reason.
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, I let my worst fears take over, imagining you hurt in a demonstration, thinking you were laying down your life and your career, and for what?
Herb, I'm glad that you worry about me, but you've got to let me play this out no matter what happens.
Honey, it's not as if I don't see the flame of idealism burning bright in you. I just don't want you to be consumed by it, you know? Now, you might feel that you have a lot to make up for, given all the years you didn't fight for the underdog. I just hope you save something of yourself for other worthy causes.
The energy just multiplies. And as far as your attitude about Jeffrey, I would have missed the whole thing if it hadn't been for him. I'm very grateful to him. And he doesn't goad me on.
Well, I thought about that. I did. And I know you can't be pushed around, darling. For that, I do apologize. It's insulting for me to blame Jeffrey.
Yes, it is. Hey, come on. Let's forget about last night. I hate being separated from you. I hate being angry at you.
That was our first real fight, wasn't it?
I hope it was our last.
So, you, bailed me out, huh? Yes. Yes, well, you see, I already have one son in prison. The thought of two behind bars was just a little bit too much for me.
Well, thanks. Two bad boys, huh? One into money and the other into...
Into what, Jeffrey? Revenge? Trying to get even with me for things in the past? What?
Leave it to you to see it that way. We didn't even know that you owned the 21st Century Corporation until we investigated. We'd already taken the case. I will admit it made it a bit more enticing for both Judith and myself to know that you were behind it, though.
Why? Why, Judith? Of all the people in this world, did you rope her into becoming your partner? You knew full well, Jeffrey, what she was to me in my life.
Our lives. She was the woman you wouldn't leave for my mother, remember?
And so you have been carrying this resentment with you? You planning to get even with her now?
That's dead wrong. I think she's a terrific lawyer and a terrific person.
Well, finally, we agree on something. Jeffrey, what would it take? What would it really take to get you to dissolve this partnership of yours? What are you so afraid? I'm not afraid. I am worried. I'm worried that if Judith continues working with you, that eventually she is going to get hurt.
Look, my respect and admiration and affection grows for her daily. Now, if she's going to get hurt, it's going to be by you.
So you're just going to dig in harder and entrench yourself just because I disapprove.
You just don't understand me. My relationship with Judith has developed out of just mutual affection. It has nothing to do with you whatsoever. So, if you'll excuse me, my partner is waiting for me. We have to, stop a certain someone from putting condos on the riverfront.
Sweetheart, you sure you want to have something to eat?
Dad.
Well, I'm sorry. That's okay. Thank you. Okay. Well, I find this very difficult because I know how much you respect Lee.
Is there something about Lee that I don't know?
Well, sweetheart,
Oh, you too? Lee, I'm late, aren't I?
No, that's all right.
She may not be on time, Lily. See, I have some reservations about her working for you.
Well, why don't we go up to my suite and talk about it? That way I can be a part of it, too.
That would be terrific. Look, I'm not sure what's going on between you two, but let's get it over with.
Sweetheart, I think Leah's right. I think we should go up to her suite and talk.
You're doing? Look what I found. The stolen poison from Patrick's lab. You know, the minute I heard about this, I knew you'd taken it. You were going to use this against Vicky, weren't you?
Well, it depends. If I can come up with a good enough plan to get rid of her, I'll use it. But I have to make it look as though you did it, Tina.
It's over, Maria. It's too late. I am going to take this to the police, and they are going to put you in prison where you belong.
You're not walking out of this room with that vial. If you're careless, it could kill you, Tina.
Or you. That's why I know you won't fight me for it. Now, would you please move out of my way?
Give that to me. No! Give it
right. I had a little talk with Kate, but she doesn't know anything. I couldn't get any information from her. So now I'm going to try Charles. And if his memory problem is just as bad, I'm going to have to hit Elizabeth next. I'm going to go through everyone in that family until I find someone that knows what Jamie was doing in 1983.
And then what?
And then we look for a clue. Something that can lead us to where the money is hidden. And then we play finders keepers. We split up the dough, and then we nail Rolo Fernandez.
Max, please, I'm begging you. Forget the money. It's done nothing but bring misery, and it'll bring nothing more than misery.
Ah, hello, son.
Hey, Clint, how you doing? Listen, I was just going to come in your office and ask you if you had a minute to talk sometime today.
How about right now? What's on your mind? I mean, besides the honeymoon that you'll be off on as of tomorrow.
Well, I try not to think too much about that, otherwise I'd never get anything done. Listen, what I'd like to talk to you about, is my mother.
All right. Although I'm not very objective when it comes to her.
Believe me, Clint, neither am I right now. I am very angry with her, but I'm also real worried. Clint, I know that no way to deal with her right now is to cut her out of my life. I just can't do that. What I want to try to do is get her some psychiatric help.
Well, she sure as hell needs it. You had any progress in getting her to see a doctor?
No, Clint, I haven't, because she doesn't even think she's done anything wrong up to this point.
No.
But listen, I know this is not going to sit very well with you, but I want to invite her over to Landfair to be part of my wedding ceremony tomorrow.
It's over, Maria. I'm going to the police with this, and they are going to put you in jail where you belong.
You are not leaving here with that vial. Now put it down! Tina, if you're careless with it, it can kill you.
Or you. That's why I know you're not going to fight me for it. Now move out of my way.
Give me that vial! Tina!
With that, aren't you?
One drop of this poison on your skin and it goes right to your heart. It'll look as though you had a heart attack, Tina. It's not as though killing you never crossed my mind. And, somebody has to do it. I will be doing the world and especially my son a favor.
I never did anything to hurt your son. I love him. I never meant to hurt him.
You never meant to hurt him? You brought a baby to this town that isn't his, and you said it was.
Look, that's going to be taken care of as soon as he is back from his honeymoon. And, well, you don't want to upset him right before he gets married, do you?
Oh, it's so wonderful to see you squirming. How about a little begging, too, huh? And then I want you to swear that you're never going to hurt Cord again. I want you to swear what a good little girl you're going to be. Yes. You know what? It's actually going to be almost as much fun killing you as it's going to be killing Vicky.
Look, Maria, just try to listen to this, all right? I mean, people just don't go around killing people that just upset them a little. Look, you need help. That's all it is. The police are never going to press charges on you just because you need help.
Shut up! I am not sick. My problem is that I have been too nice. I could have killed Vicky when she was in ICU. In fact, I almost did. I didn't, and you know what she did? She turned on me. She told Cordero that I helped Allison. She distorted it. She made it sound like I was some criminal. And that wouldn't have happened if I had shut off her life support system. Okay, Tina. Say your prayers. Go ahead. Ask the Lord for the forgiveness I know he's not going to give you.
Look, if you don't want to think about me, think about yourself. You're going to get caught for this. They're going to send you to jail for the rest of your life for this.
No way! I have outsmarted everybody, and I'm going to continue to do so. Oh, poor Tina. Everybody's going to say she was so young, and she had so much to live for. Oh! Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yes, for the priest and the rabbi right here in front of the open doors. And then we'll move this furniture out of the way and put all the other chairs out here.
Vicky, you have been so wonderful about all this. Especially since Tina must be angry with you for offering us your home for the wedding.
She was angry at first, but look, she knows that you and Court are going to get married one way or the other, so the location of the ceremony can hardly be an issue.
Well, do you think she's accepted the fact that she's finally lost Court?
Yeah, I think she has. I think it still hurts, but at least she's not fighting it anymore.
Well, I'm relieved, although I do keep expecting something to pop out of nowhere and interrupt us again.
Okay. Relax, enjoy yourselves. Look forward to tomorrow and the rest of your wonderful lives together.
I'm trying to. Cord just went over to see Clint because he wants to ask his mother to the wedding. I know that's going to cause you some concern.
You have to give me a minute just to think rationally about this. Maria was here last night, begging me and then threatening me. It's such a damn shame, too. She could have gone on with her life and had a perfectly wonderful life. No, she would not let go of the past. She was determined to beg her old love back no matter what.
Court's just afraid that if he doesn't invite her to the wedding, it will increase her bitterness towards you. And besides, he doesn't think he can help her unless he maintains some sort of closeness with her.
Yeah, well, I can certainly understand that, and he's right. And she's his mother. His good feelings about her haven't died. They're just in shock. I suppose I have no objections as long as she behaves herself. But let me tell you something. Between you and me, Kate, I will not tolerate one snide remark from that woman.
Clint, look, I know this puts you in a real bind right now, and I'm sorry about that. I know, it's your house, and she's not welcome there.
Apparently she doesn't.
Well, she's got to know by now that she's not welcome there.
Yeah? Really? Well, she came over again last night. Argued with Vicky, tangled with Tina.
Oh.
She's willing to blame everyone but herself. She just will not face the consequences of her own actions. Look, son, I know how much this must hurt you, but...
Clint, I keep telling myself that I can't just cut her out of my life like that. She's got a lot of twisted thoughts in her mind right now. She's sick. She needs some help. Maybe you understand this a lot more than I do.
Well, of course I do. I've lived through a couple of those wars with Vicky. I also understand why you want to stay close to her and try to get her some help.
Which is why I need to make this gesture and invite her to the wedding, all right? To show her how much I love her. And to show her that she can trust me again. Maybe that way, next time I bring up the idea of therapy, she'll be more willing to accept it.
All right. All right, invite her to Landfair, but make damn sure she understands it's a one-day thing.
Of course I will, Clint, and thank you. Listen, I'm going to finish up what I've got to do here, and then I'm going to take my lunch and go see her.
All right. You know, it wouldn't exactly crack your face if you were to smile a little bit. I mean, after all, you are marrying the woman of your dreams tomorrow.
Oh, yes, sir. You definitely got that right.
Look, why don't we just go to the police, tell them about our suspicions that Rollo might have been involved with my father? Then maybe they can find out.
I don't want anyone else finding that fortune if I can help it, and I don't want to take a chance that Rollo slips out of town, and that's what'll happen if he finds out the police are snooping around. Then Lord knows what he'll do. He might take you hostage or something. Gabriel, we don't have any proof on this guy. There's nothing we can do.
Look, Max, I want to get on with the rest of my life. I have things I must do. And all this waiting around is beginning to get to me.
Yeah, well, that's great, but you just wait until I talk with Charles Sanders. He'll be here in just a few minutes.
Are you going to tell him about the watch and the engraving?
Of course I'm not.
Well, then, how else? I mean, how on earth is he going to be able to tell you what the 1400 means?
I don't know. Maybe he can't. Who knows? Maybe that number your father had etched in his watch has nothing to do with this. Maybe it has nothing to do with the treasure.
Well, I've been thinking that, but you seem to be so sure.
Well, what we're going to do is we are going to probe Mr. Sanders for information. And then we'll hope he says something. Anything that can connect Jamie to Dante in 1983.
says let Mrs. Carver no more than 6 months. All right, that's great. Then I'll hear from you this afternoon. Great. Bye-bye.
A new client?
Yeah, and it looks like an important one, too.
Well, hey, it's perfect timing. Now that I'm starting work for you today, I can be in on the initial steps and see how you handle a new client.
That's right.
If Mary Lynn takes the job,
Dad.
well, that's why we're here, aren't we, sweetheart? We came up to discuss this. Now, if Lee can see her way clear to work us into her hectic schedule...
Okay. Why don't you just state your objections, and let's get this all through with, okay? No, look, would you mind if I start here? Now, I think I'm giving your daughter a wonderful opportunity. She will learn much more from me than she will at working at this hotel.
Well, I've always been concerned about Mary Lynn's education, Lee. But I do not want her to think, just because she has this job, that she can get away without a college degree.
What are you talking about? Who's talking about missing college? She'll go again in the fall, and then she can work for me part-time.
She's got you there, Dad.
Right, and besides that, who can give her more than I am, which is $400 a week.
And that'll give me plenty of money to start the search for my mother.
Mary Lynn, I'd like to speak with Lee alone on this, if you don't mind. Would you mind waiting downstairs, honey? Please?
Dad, this is my job we're talking about.
Look, Mary Lynn, why don't you let us talk for a few minutes here, and then you and I can get back to work.
All right, but gosh, I don't see any reason for all this.
Thank you, honey. You are good, aren't you? Good. You've got a nice job, so she's right next to you for months, and a very nice salary.
Yeah, well, why don't you say it's going to child support, the support of my child? I mean, you're really going to alienate her, Tom, if you object to this job.
Don't you realize the closer you get to her, the more she's going to be hurt when she learns the truth?
Yeah, well, that's fine. I don't believe that. I think she'll be just delighted to find out that I'm her mother.
Do you really? Well, I think she's in for a heartache, more heartache, when she learns the truth about you.
We talked about this last night. I really think I know my daughter well enough to know that she gives people the benefit of the doubt. She'll understand that I did what I had to do. She won't hold that against me.
The fact that you preferred to spend your time in a brothel rather than spending your time as a mother, I'm sorry, I think she will hold that against you.
I was not a hooker then. And the only reason you have to believe that is that's because you will have no justification for what you did to Mary Lynn and me. Now, look, why don't we just drop all this nonsense and admit to the fact that we don't know how to tell her that I'm her mother?
Max? Mr. Sanders, I'd like to thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to meet me.
It's all right, but I don't know why this meeting's even necessary, so let's get it on.
Well, sir, I hate to bring up this subject because it's a sore point for you as it is for me. It has to do with a legal problem with my ranch down in Buenos Aires, the one Jamie's partner last up for me.
Dante Medina. I have no trouble in the world remembering that name.
Yes, well, the government down in Buenos Aires believes that Dante was involved in swindling Don Alonso out of money long before he started planting cocoa plants on his property. Now, they also discovered that Dante had traveled to Landview in the fall of 1983 and soon after began smuggling cocaine into the East Coast.
Max, wait a minute. That's all very informative, but what does all of this have to do with me?
Well, with you, nothing. But they believe that Jamie may have been involved at that time. Now, do you happen to know where Jamie was in September of 1983 and what he was doing?
September of 1983, my wife at that time, Judith, and my mother and I were all in Mandora. Oh, and then we took a little tour of Europe because our house here was being renovated.
Renovated? Was Jamie with you, or did he stay behind?
No, Jamie was here because he was looking after the renovation to make sure everything went according to plan.
Ah. So then you wouldn't really know whether or not Jamie had met with Medina or not?
Unfortunately, no. No, Max, I wouldn't.
Excuse me, Mr. Sanders, you have a phone call from your daughter?
Oh, thank you, Rob. Max, look after this for me, lay it back.
Sure, will do.
Maria, please,
the rest of your life.
Do you think there's any way we can sort of put our hatred for each other aside and do the best for Mary Lynn?
Lay out the facts, you mean?
Uh-huh.
And just let them speak for themselves, is that it?
Well, yeah, why not?
Now, how are we supposed to do that? We're only going to end up in an argument about who